You launch a company, find your market, and hit that $1 million revenue mark. But then, momentum flatlines. The product didn't fail. The market didn't dry up. The business ground to a sudden halt because you, the founder, became the central choke point. It's a condition called decision dependency. You hire highly capable teams to take over the daily workload, but instead of executing, they sit at desks, paralyzed, waiting for your final approval on every minor task. Welcome back to Season 5, Episode 44 of CIL. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to check out the latest in the Karas Innovations book series linked below. Before we dig in, a quick thanks to Crunch Time Gourmet Popcorn for keeping the crew fed this season. Grab a bag at the link in the description. Now, a bottlenecked founder creates a cascading effect. When every choice requires a stamp from the top, you automatically build a culture where your team feels disempowered and hesitant to take real action. To map a way out, we look to Brooke Dukes. She is the founder of BMD Consulting and an expert in behavioral science and organizational structure. Her entire mission is to eliminate these bottlenecks by installing what she calls leadership operating systems. This animated chart illustrates the hidden financial bleed of second-guessing. Reversing a finalized decision loses $2,000 to $5,000 in wasted momentum. As cash drains, the workflow physically narrows. Every tiny question funnels straight down to a single desk, making growth impossible. These symptoms point to the real illness. Your company doesn't lack a brilliant business strategy. It suffers from a mechanical failure in how approvals physically move through the organization. Thanks to our sponsor, LinkedIn, the best place to find the talent you need to scale. Let's look at how we repair this broken pipeline. The instinct is to try leadership coaching or motivational seminars, but motivation evaporates without structure. Dukes implements a philosophy called success by design, establishing strict, mechanical decision rules so authority stops flowing back up the chain. Giving someone a task is the illusion of delegation. If an employee has to come back to you to get the go-ahead to finalize it, you haven't delegated the ownership. True delegation means handing over the right to make the final call. Dukes uses mapping tools like the human design chart shown here to understand the unique psychological traits of a founder. But while the individual requires nuanced behavioral understanding, the company itself requires strict, standardized guardrails to survive. A visionary leader thrives on new ideas and constant motion. To actually execute that vision, their daily, impulsive actions have to be restricted by a mechanical framework. One of those strict mechanical tools is the 80-20 rule. Growth stage companies often stall because the founder insists on perfecting the final 20% of a project, creating a massive delay. During Amazon's massive scaling phase, Jeff Bezos implemented this exact bypass. If a project was 80% there, it shipped. He knew the cost of forcing perfection through his own desk would bottleneck multi-million-dollar momentum. The next tool is emotional neutrality. Making snap decisions during a high-stress emergency or a euphoric win guarantees that you're acting on immediate conditioning, leading to a costly reversal a week later. To enforce this neutrality, BMD Consulting uses a digital reinforcement engine called OOS. It tracks daily choices, flags these reactive overrides in real time, and forces the founder to pause and stabilize their behavior between coaching sessions. Together, the 80-20 rule and the mandated pause act as physical blockades. They protect the company's financial momentum from the leader's own emotional turbulence, brought to you by Fundrise. Now, let's look at the ultimate personal stakes for the founder. Corporate culture treats endless meetings and pure exhaustion as a badge of honor. Founders wear their burnout to prove their value to the team. This 2x2 grid maps out the necessary shift. You have to move your daily focus out of the red, urgent quadrant, where you are just reacting to daily fires, and into the blue, important quadrant, where you can actually plan proactive strategy. This specific prioritization model comes directly from President Eisenhower, who used it to keep his generals focused on high-level decisions rather than daily noise during World War II. Operating in that high-level quadrant requires intense clarity. That makes a founder's physical and mental self-care an absolute mechanical requirement for a company to scale, rather than a weekend wellness luxury. When these systems take hold, the environment completely changes. Meetings shrink, decisions stay final, and your highly capable team executes without a second of hesitation. A final thank you to Crunch Time Gourmet Popcorn, LinkedIn Premium, and Fundrise's Innovation Fund for making this episode possible. Be sure to explore the Karas Innovation series in the description, and a huge thank you to our executive producer, Lanier Johnson. You built the business to run. True sustainable success is achieved the exact moment it no longer needs you to function.